Hey everybody, Scroft here. Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in. It's Friday, so you know what that means. Fact Sheet Friday time again. So we're going to do another short video and talk about the stuff that we just learnt from, the latest drop from about FS25 from Giants. I am enjoying these fact sheets. Some of them have been really good. Like last week, we got that white tractor that stood out for me. We actually had a couple of things in last week's Fact Sheet Fridays that stood out. But yeah, this time around, not as good, but still got a couple of things that stand out. So I'm going to get through these first. So we'll try and make the video as short as possible. But yeah, try to keep everyone up to date with any news I get and so on. Right, so let's start off with this Annenberger trailer. It's kind of a bit of a combination as well. So we got like the bed of the trailer and then the trailer. So we can actually hook that actual trailer onto the bed. Now, I will put up just to the side so it makes a bit more sense the other picture, which will show you the difference between the two. So you can see the top one that's HTS 22B.79. It's strange because it shows the capacity, the price, which is 38,000 and 180 horsepower requirement, and then the AW 22.17, which is £35,000. You've got a variety of capacity there, which is 25 to 36. So basically 25,000 litres or 36,000 litres. But the thing that stands out to me is that 24 metre spread. So can this be turned into a muck spreader? Maybe something along them lines. It's a strange one, but I think putting up that other image, you can see the difference between the two and what they're trying to show off. And nothing too crazy with this, let's be honest. We've seen this kind of stuff before in FS22 and so on. So I'm not going to really talk about this too much. I think we should just move on to the next one. But yeah, not too bad at all. I do like seeing all these crop types that it can take, though, just because I like seeing the actual icons that we're going to visualize quite a lot going into FS25. It'll become the new norm. And obviously, as you can see, it can hold quite a lot, including pretty much all the new crop types. Pretty much, yeah, it is exactly all the new crop types, then 5 there. So spot on. Right, so the next one, I'm a little bit disappointed with, I have to say, just because I'm looking forward to these Fact Sheet Fridays, especially after last weekend. But this is just something we learned yesterday, which is what we're going to be using to harvest the beans. So we're just going through it. It's just giving some detail to it. So $500,000 to buy, very extreme, which kind of ties into yesterday's video where I was saying I'd like to have an option, smaller option, basically, like kind of start from scratch option to then build up to this. Because I look, 500,000 a lot of money, but 315 horsepower. Holds 15,000 litres before we obviously need to tip into a trailer. It's got a 3.3 metre working width, which is what I've always said. It looks about 3 metres. Not too bad, especially for these kind of crops. And it's got a working speed of 6 miles an hour. So it can go 50 miles an hour on the road, but 6 miles an hour in the field. So again, I'm not going to talk about this too much because we saw loads of pictures of it yesterday in the beans video. But I was hoping for something else. But I think the next two look pretty interesting, especially the last one, because I like the look of it. And we've been talking about start from scratch equipment. And I think this might be an item that's probably, a good thing maybe to build up to just after a start from scratch. So maybe when you've made a little bit of money. But let's get through them and let's move to the next one first. So the next one I'm on about is this. It's the Dalbo Power Chain 800. Now, I like the look of this just because it's got a unique shape to it. It's like shaped like a diamond and it's a power chain. But this is pretty much just for stubble. So on a stubble on the field after a harvester, you've got this disc harrow that can go off and basically cultivate the field. But you've got the option as well to replant in grass and also the oilseed radish. I keep getting mixed up between that and the spinach, but I'm pretty sure that's oilseed radish. So you can put seeds in. It's 8 metre working width. I guess it's an option as well to put that seeder on. But yeah, I like it. I mean, we've had this brand already, and I'm pretty certain that's the brand we used for the rollers that came into FS22 when we started getting rolling and stuff like that. So they've just expanded onto that. And I have actually been on the website and done a bit of research on the company, and they do focus on rollers and disc harrows and things along them lines. But I like it. £43,000, not too bad. 180 horsepower requirement. Obviously, if you've got seeds in 300 litres, 8 metre working width, and it's got an 11 miles an hour working speed in the field. So yeah, not too bad. So the last one and the best one out of the lot, that's why I always say the best one to the last, is this Claas Evion 450. It's a harvester, as you can tell, but what I like about it is it's a small harvester and it's still quite modern. So so on a UK map with tight lanes, tight farm, this is the perfect harvester to have. I really like how small it is and how agile it is for that reason on tight UK maps and tight UK entrances, the gates. You know what it's like. So I do like the fact that we're going to have a harvester from base game that can tailor to that, because we haven't really seen too many of them. We've got a few, don't get me wrong, but it seems like this one's got such a short back end to it that it will be just perfect for a map like that. And even, if you're doing a start from scratch, like I previously mentioned, you can work up to this. I know it's still expensive at £226,000, but for a harvester, that isn't too bad. And I just like the look of it. I don't think we've had, I'm pretty certain we haven't seen this already in FS22. We might have had a modded version of it, but I don't think we've seen that. I like it. I do. I like it. I think it's pretty cool. And it's definitely the best one out of the options we've had. And it's in comparison to last week's Fact Sheet Friday, this is probably a lot less interesting, let's say. But, some of the things have been stating the obvious. But let's talk about it anyway. 258 horsepower in it. So definitely on the smaller scale for horsepower when it comes to harvesters. 500 litre tank. It can only hold 8,000 litres. So again, kind of pointing to it is a small harvester. 11.5 tons. It's got a speed on the road of 24 miles an hour, and you can see that it's just a standard harvester. So it's only going to harvest what you'd expect. So let's just quickly point out the header. Now, I don't know if there's going to be another header option, but the one we're seeing right now, this Vario 620, is 6.2 meters, hence why it's called 620, £52,000, and it's got a working speed of 6 miles an hour, which is what you'd expect. But because it's not like a row header, it's not going to be able to do sunflowers and corn, which you can see up in the section above, while we're missing kind of like two crops from that list that we had originally. But yeah, let me know what you think. Are you excited for that harvester? I think it's a nice little modern harvester that we can have like perfectly on a British map, or something equivalent, maybe a small type farm, or a map that's designed the same way as most British farms are. I know we've had a few maps that have been really wide open fields and larger entrances, but it is rare that we see that. It's more, you see a tight yard for a British map, and that's the way I prefer to play if we have the option to. Obviously, we have to wait for modders to bring the maps out, but fingers crossed we're going to get quite a few options. I know a lot of modders that are already working on some stuff, so fingers crossed we get to see them, and it looks like we're going to be getting a UK map anyway from Giants. So if that happens at the end of 2025, we might be seeing something that's got a small farmyards, traditional British style in some way setting. I don't know. I can only imagine from that picture. Looks like there's going to be a lake though, a big lake. So I don't know if it is in Scotland. Are we going to be doing rice? I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see. But yeah, I like it. I think it's a nice little class. I think that's definitely the highlight of all the things we've seen. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comment section. Give the video a thumbs up if you've enjoyed it and if you found it informative. And I'll see you in the next one. See you, everybody.